DeMarco Farr recovers it.
You dang right, baby. Get on it. Where's Maurice Jones-Drew? See?
There you go.
Elbows in front of the low ball.
Yeah.
Scoop, fall, knees to chest.
Yeah.
That is how you recover a fumble or a loose ball, young kids.
That's also how you don't get it in the house, DeMarco.
Bro, I got blown up by everybody. Hey, that hurt. Yeah, man.
It would only been 2 points anyway.
No, it would have been 7.
If you were a block field goal, not an extra point.
He
Sorry.
blocked Al Del Greco, who is one hell of a golfer.
I know. He wins that Tahoe thing.
Every year.
Yeah, he's in the mix.
We blocked him. That was fun.
You remember what quarter that was and what was the score?
I do not. It was early.
Third quarter. 9-0.
It was the third quarter?
9-0.
Okay.
You guys are up. Yeah.
Really? We should have blown them out.
Well,
we should have blown them out.
You guys had a weird deal where you guys scored 1 million points that season.
Yeah.
And watching those Rams teams was always super fun because you knew there was going to be a ton of points. You got
in a variety
Isaac,
of
you
ways.
got Torrey, you got Marshall.
Yeah.
Like you guys are going to light it up.
Yeah.
And then the NFC Championship game, you didn't light it up.
No. Well, we bumped into Tampa.
Yeah. Well, it turns out had a legendarily good defense.
A Hall of Fame, a championship-level defense.
And then in the Super Bowl, you didn't light it up.
Okay, we got – see, the offense. We were in the red zone, in the red zone, in the red zone. We just kept kicking field goals. We should have been up 21 points. What did we do? We started playing Jeff Fisher ball.
He was on the other side.
With Jeff Fisher, that's what I'm saying. We were playing his style.
His essence permeated the building.
Right, we was there. Now we got to contend with Eddie George and all these dudes for forever, and it just almost killed us.
I didn't know you recovered a fumble in that or a block kick in that game.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was it was funny. That was decoy game for me.
What do you mean?
The way they ran their offense. So I wasn't going to make a ton of plays versus the run.
Yeah.
I was just going to force it back to London Fletcher.
Oh, okay.
So every time you see Fletch make the play, it was me cutting it off.
Yeah.
So that was going to be my job. So that was the only moment in the game where they called my name.
You're the assist that led to the assist.
Yeah. The only way I'm making my bones against them is pass rushing.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where all
good pass rushing Steve McNair doesn't sound like a ton of fun.
That's number one. McNair's back there. Well, guess who's blocking me? Bruce Matthews.
Oh, well, he did go to the Hall of Fame and play 40 years and never miss a game.
So I get doubled over here away from Bruce Matthews, or I get singled up by Bruce Matthews.
Yeah.
So beat the Hall of Famer or beat the double.
You know what, Bruce Matthews?
What?
Arcadia Apache.
Is he really? Mm-hmm. What's in the water?
Just saying.
Where were you at on that last play? On the last couple of plays when they drove down to the 8?
I'm the signal caller, so I don't see.
Mentally, where are you at?
I'm the signal caller. You got to get yourself right. I can't be looking crazy and telling guys to do something that I can't do. So I'm sitting in the huddle and I'm like, okay, this is the last play. We got to get a stop. We stop, we win.
Yeah.
Because they had called timeout. Remember, so we come to the sideline. So we sitting there and and all this stuff. Like I said, it's amazing because when you're in the middle of it, you don't see any of it. Because like I said, I didn't see him or Kevin. When Coach Mill was talking to him, I never saw that. I saw that on television in a video. And I'm looking like, did they really just leave it? Bruh. And I'm in the middle of it. So you're seeing all this stuff that you don't even realize because you right there smack in the middle of it. So, and this is the ironic thing, the last play, and DeMarco knows this after I told him, we break the huddle, and we have a combination coverage. So you got to listen to the safety of what they're saying. So I'm turning around trying to get the call, and the guy motions out, and no one's on him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was Kevin Dyson.
Yes.
Kevin motions out and then motions back in. If they snap the ball, we're out leverage. They throw the ball, he scores.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. That's the craziest part. So then he comes back. So then the ball so it's two sides to the story. Then he comes back. I'm looking at Kevin the whole time. Now when you look on the television, you can't see me, but I'm looking like this in the camera angle got my back. So I'm seeing Kevin. And Kevin plants and comes back. I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy. He don't see me. And Kevin tells me, he said, Mike, I knew exactly where you were. And I said, I'm going to run right by him. So the two mindsets, the guy catching the ball thinking I'm not going to tackle him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
And we in the same universe.
Mode. Yeah.
So in that moment, Mike, and anybody that's a football fan has seen the play a million times. You bring him down right before the goal line. You guys win the Super Bowl on the play. Do you go into that mode where, look, I've been playing football my whole life. This is what I'm here to do. I got to follow my technique, my fundamentals. This is how you make a tackle in the open field. Or are you thinking, I make this tackle, we win the Super Bowl, I miss him, we lose?
No, I'm thinking, I'm telling you, I'm thinking I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
I didn't think he saw me.
Yeah.
And he knew exactly where I was. So what happened, I plant and I come downhill. Now, he runs a route similar to what Marshall runs. I don't know if you remember, Marshall will run two different angle routes.
Mm-hmm.
He run an angle route where he beat the linebacker, or he run an angle route and he run upfield.
Yeah.
Well, he ran the angle route that comes across the middle. So I'm thinking, okay, so as I'm taking a step, I'm like, okay, this is a wide receiver, it's a little faster. Oh, I better make this tackle. So it went from me killing him to me trying to get him on the ground. When you see me tackle him, I'm grabbing him on the one side, and this is what I didn't know until, again, you watch it on film. I wonder how he fell so fast. So when I came around to wrap him up, I'm dead serious. I hit him right on top of his knee, and he fell like a tree.
Stopped him. Yep.
And that's the reason. And it was close. It was about the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
But everyone sees when he bounces and he reaches.
Right.
So he wasn't. When he fell, he had to get his bounce, and he was short. Yeah.
From my angle, because I'm behind him, all I saw was Mike make the tackle, guy go down. I'm thinking, damn, now we're on the goal line. Like, damn, here they come. Like
you
said,
didn't know the clock had run out.
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, now we got to defend Eddie and McNair on the goal line. Damn. And I look up, and the clock says 0. I heard, woohoo!
Yep.
Dick Vermeil.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he yelling about?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
Mike, the game's over.
Yeah. So Lorenzo runs out. So I am
Lorenzo
dog
Neal.
type.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
my God.
Lorenzo Styles.
Oh, Styles. Steele.
So Styles runs out on me. And I am dead tired. So he runs out and he's out. Everyone's all excited. He looks at me like, "Man, you all right?" I said, "Man, I'm just happy this game is over with."
Probably the final play of the game in regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot. Mike Jones made the tackle. And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
That is my alarm clock for life.
The game is over. The game is over.
Now every Super Bowl should have an ending such as this. Down on the 1-yard line, a terrific play call, trying to give Dyson an opportunity to break a tackle.
Mike Jones, the linebacker. You don't hear a lot about him. He is the guy that is able to take Dyson down before he can get to the goal line. And that's why you're seeing this scene in celebration of the St. Louis Rams winning the National Football League championship.
And we drank every bar dry from Atlanta back to Missouri.
25 years ago today is when that play happened. You heard Al Michaels on the call.
Yes.
The Rams were Super Bowl champions on this day back in 2000 after the 99 season, the greatest show on turf. And DeMarco's kind of going into his Rolodex a little bit, bringing in some of his teammates, including Jeff Zgonina. Jeff, thanks for joining us. How you feeling?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. This is crazy. This is the first time we've ever talked on radio. I'm nervous. What's up, man?
No, it's not.
This is the first time I have talked to you on radio ever. When did I have you on?
No. Grant and I had you on our radio show back in St. Louis with Jack Snow.
When? Where? Where were you guys? Where was the show? I don't remember.
We were at a bar over by Crevacor in that little plaza.
Okay, that was years ago. I think I burned that out with a few shots ago.
Long time ago.
Jeff and I, we became teammates in what, 1997? That was your first year with the Rams, right?
Yes.
And
yes, it was.
You started with Pittsburgh. I forgot. Emily is a Pittsburgh fan. You were a part of that crew.
I was a draft pick of the Steelers, yes, in 93.
In 93. How did you get to us? How did you get to the Rams?
Frank Gann's Crash brought me there when Dick took the job. Crash. I was in Atlanta the year before with Crash.
That's right.
Playing special teams and D-line down there.
I was trying to tell them about Frank Gann's and Crash and trying to explain where the name Crash came from. Do you have a story?
He crashed a plane in fighter pilot school. And they put him behind a desk, and they called him Crash. That's the story I was told. So.
It makes sense.
Is that the real story? Okay, never mind. Every time you would ask Crash where that, about his nickname, he would never tell you. The only one that
tell
knew
people
was you.
about crashing a fighter plane? Would that be something you'd be dying to
I
to
would
tell
kind of
people?
lead with that. That's kind of cool.
Jeff, let me ask you this.
He says he didn't crash it. He said he was hitting the treetops. I go, dude, you eventually probably crashed. So.
Jeff Zgonina, of course, is a member of the championship-winning team, DeMarco's 25th anniversary of that championship-winning team. And Jeff, DeMarco's telling me the story about how you and he used to compete and compete to get on the field and compete for reps and compete for position and then
compete for everything.
On that final play of the game that you guys won the Super Bowl, you guys were out there on the field together. What do you remember about that final play?
Well, I remember I couldn't feel my feet. I was so tired. Because the problem was right before that drive, I believe that was the bomb to Isaac, one play, and we're back on the field. And drive before that, they were on the field for like 14 or 17 play drive. So it was back-to-back long drives, I believe. And I was gassed. I remember there's a clip on the TV we see Kevin trying to get off the field, and Dick's like, "Are you kidding me?" But Kevin couldn't even see straight, I mean, we were bone tired. And I remember thinking, I'm out here pass rushing, which was not my forte for my career. But, again, it was next man up, and we were out there. And it was, it was a blur, put it that way. That play felt like it was three minutes long, and it was, 3 seconds?
At least. So, Jeff is number 90. He's the guy that comes sliding in after Mike makes the play. What were you thinking when McNair threw the ball? What were you thinking when they snapped it on that last play? I know I was thinking, just get off, get your hands up, do something. Please don't let this guy run. What were you thinking about?
Well, about the same thing, but again, like I said, I was tired. I remember I was going against Bruce Matthews, the all-world frickin' football player, and I remember going, I'm not going to get a rush. There's just no way. In which he didn't. I came off the ball, he bear hugged me, and then that was that. I know Mike puts in his book that I was spying. Dude, that dude just locked me up. I ain't gonna lie. He clamped me, and he looked at me. I looked at him. I said, "Come on, Bruce." He goes, "I'm tired too." And we just stood there and danced on the line of scrimmage. And he threw the ball, and I just turned and ran, like I always do. And thank God Mike got him down.
We had Mike in here the other day, Jeff, and I asked him, okay, so here comes Dyson, and, you're the last man before he goes in the end zone. You're going to make the tackle or not. And he made it sound, I don't want to say matter of fact, but you can tell he was like, yeah, no, I knew I was going to get him. It's a play that I've made a bunch of times. As you're watching it unfold, what did it feel like? Did it feel like he was going to go in, or did you think that Mike Jones would make the stop?
I knew he'd make the stop. Come on, man. We're the Rams. Come on. Stop us back then. No, I was like, again, we go back a few plays before that when I believe KC and Jay Williams missed the sack, right? That would have ended the game right there. But it is what it is, and I was happy Mike made it, and the rest is history.
I couldn't believe that dude got out of that Jay and Kevin sack. Really. You had him dead to rights, and he got out of that. And
I know. That dude was a beast, though, man.
He was. Imagine if he played today.
Oh, he'd kill it.
He would absolutely murder it. Yeah, no doubt. What is your best memory from that year? Besides the game, just your best memory, anything that you can remember leading up to that season?
I don't know, man. It was because remember, I just came back that year. I took that year off between 97 and 99.
Yeah.
And then coming back into the fold with the guys again.
Yeah. Where did you go that year?
After I got released, I was in Oakland for a little bit, and then I finished the year out in Indy, Peyton's rookie year.
Oh, okay.
And Marshall was there, that's where I first met Marshall. And I was down with Ironhead. Remember old Craig Hayward down there last year playing. I followed him from Atlanta to St. Louis to Indy. So I was with that cat for 3 teams in a row.
Oh, my God, another one. Yeah.
And then, it was just great to be back in St. Louis. I've always loved St. Louis, the city, the people, and that team. That team was special. I've never been on a team like that, a bunch of dudes that bought into the belief, and loved one another like brothers and family. And we grew over those 3 hard years of Macomb, and we were able to produce a Super Bowl winning team.
Macomb, Illinois is where we trained for training camp. It's the home of the Leathernecks.
Okay.
When you want to talk about hot. How long was that trip going through there? It was like 100 miles going through a cornfield, and then you came across a field and a school.
And that's where you guys did camp?
Right.
That's where we did training camp with Vermeil. You want to talk about hard, but just wild stuff. But starting from there, you said a group of guys getting together on the same page. You started in 1993. You played 17 years. You've been coaching in the National Football League for how long now?
I just finished my 9th year.
Your 9th year. So damn near 40 or 30 years in the business, right? 30 years? What's 17 plus 9? Yeah, almost 30 years.
26.
How hard is that to find and to cultivate, to have that many guys on the same page at the same time?
It's very hard, especially now with the way free agency is and cats moving from team to team. But again, like, and the way I have been coaching my room, I would say, as long as we're on the same page, dude, and we care for each other, care for the dude next to you, we got a chance, And I can remember, I don't know if you remember, DeMarco, the first day when Dick talked to us, and he said, look to your right, look to your left. And before you leave here, you'll be able to tell that dude next to you love him like a brother.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I remember going, man, shut up, old man, quit crying, right? And I'm like, but it's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Because of the stuff that he put us through, that we complained about it, but we bonded, we got closer, I go back to, remember the old hole in the equipment room?
Oh, yeah.
And remember him coming back there and catching us back there, and he's like, playing cards and whatnot, and he's like, oh, I like this. And he walked away. And then he always had us over to his house in the off season, to have dinners and stuff and just talk and bond. And I believe all that made that team close. We were close, and we're still close.
Big time. Yeah.
I run into any of the old Rams, and it's like we just saw each other. I still talk on the phone with a lot of them, And it's just that bond that he built within us that made us rely on each other, that we knew on the fourth quarter, end of the game with, 3-4 seconds left in the game with the Super Bowl, we're going to bond together and win this because we believed in each other.
Yeah, Jeff, with that in mind, we're speaking with Jeff Zgonina, who's a teammate of DeMarco's on the Super Bowl champion, this 25th anniversary of them beating the Tennessee Titans. You mentioned it, that you played on a handful of different teams before you got to the Rams, and you said, I knew I had something special. When did you know? Because we were talking about it a little bit before you came on, that Trent Green gets hurt in training camp, and here comes Kurt Warner, and at that point, nobody other than like really super diehard NFL roster people knew who he was. When did you know that this is not just a pretty good team, but this is a special team that could do something special like win a Super Bowl?
I think I knew when we were pretty good when we lit up the 49ers in the Dome. I remember they came in, they'd beaten us like 15 times in a row, I believe.
17.
Beaten the Rams 15 times. It wasn't like just a little squeak by. I mean, they came in cocky as all heck, And I remember we lit them up, and it was like, oh, God, here we go, Because I was on some pretty good Pittsburgh teams defensively, but not, we were just okay offensively when I first got in the league. But that team with that offense, and we just got that rookie Torrey Holt, and, we had Azakeem, and we had Prohl, and we had Bruce, and we had Ernie Conwell, and we got, Marshall Falk, and then Kurt, I mean, Kurt was just finding himself, but, man, you got those kind of weapons, you can find yourself pretty quick now, And then, the offensive line with Pace and Timmerman, and Fred Miller and Tommy Newton and, Grudadoria, all you got to do is block for a second now, and that little dude behind you is going to get by. So you kind of saw it, you're lighting dudes up. You're like, okay, now we got something. Now we just can't screw it up on defense. That was the thing.
We're pretty good. Yeah. Hey, tell them about the hole. Tell them what the hole is.
So we had a little
you'll love this.
post-practice storage room in the back of the equipment room. And we go back there for a few pops after practice, to vent about Vermeil and how 4 hours of hitting was not really suitable,
Okay.
Every day, and that included Friday. Like, these cats nowadays are complaining about these little shell practices. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. We had live goal line on Friday.
Dang right.
And it was a 3-hour practice. It wasn't like on and off the field as Fast Friday. No.
Yeah. Real.
The thing about Fast Friday was how fast can you get to the gin hall after practice to soothe your wounds. But yeah, we had a little establishment back there. We had T-shirts made, and there was an initiation fee you had to pay to get in, and we just sat back there and played cards and told stories for a couple hours before we all went home.
Hang out, man.
And that was And a little vent.
I didn't know it was a private club.
Oh,
there was an admission.
You just can't walk back there.
Yeah, all right. Anybody welcome as long as they had money, or did you have to kind of earn your way in another way?
A case of beer in a bottle.
You can go back there. You just got to be ready for what comes at you. You got to be able to withstand it, my man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you weren't a poker player, you had to pay double just to get in there.
Yes. So you're coaching still, right? You're in Dallas now. Is that right?
I was with Dallas. I did not. With the changeover in the new regime, we didn't get. A lot of us didn't get retained. So I'm out looking the streets again, trying to land another gig.
Yeah.
So
what's it looking like out there for you?
Huh?
What's it looking like out there for you? I mean, you've been everywhere. You know everybody. I don't think you're going to be on the streets for long.
The right fit, you know, on both sides. So, I got a couple of things. I've been talking to a couple of people and just to see what pans out. So
I see it, man. It's always great to see you, man. You're in fantastic shape. You are the funniest dude I know. And I cannot believe it's been 25 years, man. 25 years, bro. We did this. Remember sitting in Philadelphia listening to Joe Frazier talking about Gusco? Remember that?
Yes, I tell that story all the time.
Joe Frazier was telling us his secret to success. Leave the Gusco alone.
What?
Gusco.
Yeah. What's Gusco?
It's undefeated.
It is undefeated.
Oh, okay. So I got it. I'm on. Yep. Now I'm on the trial.
My man.
Okay. Fantastic. Yes. Jeff, it was a pleasure.
Thanks, man.
Enjoyed it a great deal. Thank you.
Hey, anytime, guys.
My man. Talk to you soon.
Heart pounding at the 27-yard line. Warner to throw. Going deep downfield. Adjusting for it is Isaac Bruce. And Isaac Bruce threads his way for a touchdown. 73 yards.
Love it. The legend.
I bet that's fun to listen to when you're a member of the St. Louis Rams. Of course, today is the 25th anniversary of DeMarco's Super Bowl winning team. We've been talking about it. We've been talking to some of his former teammates. We talked to Jeff Zgonina a little bit ago. And right now we are joined by another Super Bowl champion as well. Tommy Nutten is joining us right now. Tommy, how you feeling today?
I'm a little winded because I'm still sprinting after Isaac into the end zone.
See? Tommy, hearing that play, man, I swear it's like you're stuck on a desert island. You're waiting for help, relief, something to come by, and then you see the boat, and you feel like we're going to be saved. Seeing Isaac Bruce go into the end zone and we take the lead, it's like, oh, we got a shot to win this freaking game. It was amazing. What do you remember about that play, Isaac going in?
You know what? The whole game is a bit of a blur now. I mean, it's been 25 years. I got out of the game with coaching and a little bit of commentating I've been doing about 10, 15 years ago. So I don't recollect that much anymore at all. Now, that specific play, I do remember battling, I think it was Jason Fisk.
Yeah.
Get my – and then, when the D lineman lets up, get balls on, I just kind of look and – it's this deep ball. It's like, just go. I'm tired. I want to get off the field. And sure enough, the ball is caught, and Isaac runs, and then I'm just going for a mad dash to celebrate with him. And and then it's kind of like, again, keep the fingers crossed and hope that D does their job. But you still got to stay mentally in the game because you never know if we need to go back on the field, and you don't want to celebrate too much, but you're happy. Round and round of an emotional roller coaster.
What were you thinking when they were driving? When we were on the defense is on the field and they're driving, what were you guys thinking on the sideline?
I mean, I try to keep as cool as I could, not really hoping or praying, just kind of, it is what it is. I have no control over what's happening on the field, and all I could think of is, stay cool because I'm back out there for overtime. And then I remember sitting there, I was like, I don't even know what the overtime rules are.
We never talked about it, right? I know. Crazy. And then Mike makes the play, and we all go berserk. Can you believe it's been 25 years, man? It feels like yesterday.
It's just insane. I mean, sadly, the mirror kind of tells us a little bit about that. Seeing you and a whole bunch of the other guys in L.A. back in November is just phenomenal.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tommy. You look phenomenal, man. You look great.
It's all relative. I mean, in my mind or in our mind, all feel like we're 30 years old. And then the little bit of gray hair, the wrinkles, etc. But no, considering, I think we're all looking pretty good overall. So not complaining.
We are talking with Tommy Nutten, who is a Super Bowl champion, a member of the St. Louis Rams that won the Super Bowl in the 1999 season on this day in 2000. Tommy, DeMarco was telling me a little bit about you coming in. You grew up in Germany and you found your way to American football. How did that happen?
It's everybody's got their own story. I certainly got mine. It's very colorful. As you just mentioned, I grew up in Germany. I immigrated to Canada when I was 16, and I went to a boarding school, and I started playing football in the fall and hockey in the winter and rugby in the spring. And out of those sports, football was probably my least favorite because it's such a stop-and-go sport, on the field the whole time. Sadly, I started late. I still believe I'm a hockey player inside of football. And then with rugby, it was just one of those things, there was no quote-unquote future or ongoing track. And then I just kind of slipped on into the next level from high school to college, from college to the pros, and kind of had the scenic route, meaning 1 year fought in Buffalo, then played in the NFL Europe for a season, played in the Canadian League for a season before I finally found a home in St. Louis.
See, that's what I told you. When the day Tommy showed up, we show up, we're veterans. Like, who the heck is this guy? After 1 day of pads, who the heck is this guy? Who did you replace at left guard? I'm trying to remember. Was it Wiegert that just left? We had a big gaping hole at left guard.
Yeah, well, Adam Thurman replaced Wiegert at right guard.
Right guard.
And I remember, God, who was playing left guard?
It was a hole, and then all of a sudden you were there, and it looked like, okay, this is just the guy that's just filling time. But dude, you came in banging like you had something else in mind. You knew from day one you weren't leaving.
I totally recollect that completely different. I remember showing up to mini camp straight out of Europe, since I just had the NFL Europe season, and I was beat up, and I think I was the third or fourth string center on the depth chart. I'm like, this is going to be really fun. And in between the mini camp and training camp, was there a Jarek? Something Jarek?
John Jarek, that's who it was.
And I think Flannery was there.
Yes.
And anyway, long story. And then we also signed Ed Simmons, I believe, from the Redskins.
That's the guy that quit, that went back to the dorms and smoked and left.
Right.
Incredible.
So and then I guess somebody asked to be traded. Long story, in between the OTAs and minicamp and the training camp, I went from the third or fourth string center to backup guard. And I was like, oh, okay, things are looking a little bit different now. And, rest in peace, Jim Hanny.
God rest his soul.
He was just a technician that helped me become the player that I was.
Big Irish. Let me tell you why Tommy's so important. Okay, so we played Minnesota and Tampa Bay, then to get to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Guess who Minnesota had? John Randall.
John Randall, sure.
Yeah, guess what is his best pass rushing side? Tommy's side.
Yeah.
Then Warren Sapp. The next week, guess where his best pass rushing side was? Tommy's side. So if anybody...
Couple of Hall of Famers,
yeah. Right? I mean, Tommy, did you know who you were going up against in those 2 weeks?
I did, and I still call him Mr. Sapp and Randall. No, phenomenal players. I mean, watching film, anticipating those games, a lot of sleepless nights, and then also trying to figure out how to best block them. And for me, the hardest part on both of those guys was the mental game of not buying into the BS, And
like they're talking to you?
100%. So I remember against the Vikings when John Randall kept on calling me names and this, and I just ignored it. I'm getting out of breath anyway from playing. I don't need to now start talking. Anyway, going. We had the quick touchdown. I think it was also to Isaac, and we're just moving the ball all over them. And early on in the second quarter, we're walking up to the line. I'm getting lined up, and all I hear John Randall going, Warner. I'm like, hang on, he's not talking to me anymore. I knew I had him. He couldn't crack me. And from there, for me, it's like there was a quote unquote easy game. I mean, not an easy game, but you know what I mean. But
yeah.
I knew I had won the mental war.
He stopped talking to you and talked to somebody else. You got him. Sap the same way?
You know what? He never said a word to me the whole game, which I was very surprised. And I mean, especially for that, his favorite move, which was lining up not in a 3 technique, meaning the outside guard. He would line up so far, almost for inside of the tackle position for the guard to block. And I kept on thinking to myself, I can't block it normal. I can't take my regular sets. And going into the game, I made up my mind. I'm going to take a gamble, and I'm going to almost set him like a tackle, like at guard, and not giving him my outside hand, which he wants. So I just shot my inside hand, which then he swats, and then I had my outside hand ready, and I caught him, I think, 90% of the time. What was it like playing next to Orlando Pace? It's amazing. You know, I would say watching film, I'm struggling. I'm on my knees. I'm on my face. I'm you know, getting around. And then I see Orlando, and he's just skating around like a ballerina, like a 6'7", 300-pound ballerina, wow. And nothing gets by him. So having said that, I mean, having a guy like him next to me, certainly with the twist that the D linemen run and the combinations, you know, we at least I see it that way. There was a blessing that we had a nonverbal communication. Mm-hmm. It was and a check, and we knew exactly what the other guy was thinking and where he was, and I always knew he'd have my side. Oh man, just trying to talk about it. You know, I'm still mad that he went into the Hall of Fame very happy, but the fact that he wasn't first ballot still kind of rubs me the wrong way. There was no one better in the NFL. It's again those kind of things I have no control over. I scratch my head, smile, and then move on. And I mean, he definitely deserves where he is. And again, I try to stay out of the politics on those things. My man. Yes. So who was the best D tackle you ever played against? And it better be me. Of course. Clearly in practice, 100%. Goes without saying, right? What's that? It goes without saying that it was DeMarco. Clear. I mean, you heard it. We used to go at it all the time. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to go with Brian Young. Niners. For me specifically, for my style of play, he was not a large. He was really big enough to push you around, but then the strength, relentless. Oh yeah. Technique, and I remember I actually gave up my first sack against him in St. Louis. But I remember when I would land my punch on him, it was just like punching a wall, like something so firm that I never experienced that before, and then. You know, and then it was just a constant battle. And he just you may get him with the first punch, you may get the, block the second move, and then he just keeps going. And you got to go with that third one. Monster. Tom Nutten is a Super Bowl champion. It's the 25th anniversary of the St. Louis Rams, DeMarco's Super Bowl winning team. Tom, it's a pleasure to talk with you. Thanks Tommy. So much. Love you guys. Appreciate all you guys doing, and stay safe out there. You got it. You got it. Big time. That was great. Can't unnerve that guy. Great. That's what I tried to. What he said with John Randall, I tried to get under his skin. He said this twice during the course of the conversation. He goes, I don't have any control of that. I just let it go. Like, those guys that can do that, and you can tell just by the way he said it, it's like, zip, like, how do you get under that guy's skin? Nothing. He's giving you nothing back. Yes. What about that final drive? I don't know. I wasn't out there. What do you want me to do? I just was waiting to go back in the game. It's like, but the Super Bowl's right on the line right there. Mr. Precision. That's fantastic. All right, let's keep it rolling. Keith Lyle coming up next. It's Travis DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
3 receivers to the right. Warner goes over the middle. Juggled, caught. Holt, touchdown.
Every time we play one of those highlights, I'm just struck by how many just mega stars were on that team. Oh, my God, everywhere. Just loaded with names that football fans have known for years and years. It is the 25th anniversary of DeMarco's Super Bowl championship winning winning team on this day in 2000 after the 99 season, the greatest show on turf. And Mike Jones was here a couple of weeks ago talking about it. We've been talking with his former teammates for a good portion of the day, and we're going to continue to do so. Keith Lyle, who was a safety on that team. Super Bowl champion, Keith Lyle.
Baby,
Keith, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I appreciate being here. How you guys doing?
What's up, man? I did not know you finished with 31 picks in your career. 31 interceptions from 94 to 2000. Did you know that?
That's a lot.
I kept telling him, man.
Yeah.
I think we got hosed as a young defense. We should have had way more Pro Bowlers.
I don't even I'm so beyond it. DeMarco, I had 17 picks in 2 years.
I know.
96 and 97.
Between 96 and 97. Our record was bad. I was trying to tell them, we weren't a bad football team. We just had a bad record. No. We had good players.
Guilty by association. That's what I would always tell people. It's a tough business, man, because, some guys, look at the guys when we won the Super Bowl. Look at the draft class. These guys got drafted and walked into a Super Bowl championship team.
I know.
We walked into 4-12. We walked in getting traded to St. Louis. I mean, there was all types of stuff going on.
All types of stuff. But, we stuck it out, though, man. You still have that picture. There was, 8 of us? There was me, you, Isaac, Jay. Who else? Todd?
It was Todd. So I think it was 5 of us. It was me, you, Jay, Todd. Yeah, it was 5 of us.
5 of us that made it from L.A. to St. Louis to the Super Bowl. And we're sitting all around the trophy. It meant a lot to us. I told people, how do I describe Keith Lyle? I said any praise you give to Isaac Bruce, you can also give to Keith Lyle. Because it's almost the same sort of story. Same draft class.
Yeah. It is, man. It was an amazing draft class. And, it did feel good because, it's one thing to come into the league and win right away, but we went through the struggle, the struggle. Short off, quick off seasons, playing well, taking L's, going home. So, but hey, that's just the life, man. It's a mental game.
Yep.
So our class and the majority of that team was built for that.
Keith Lyle, Super Bowl champion, joining us right here. Keith, DeMarco was we were talking about you and we were talking about this team earlier today, and he said our record was bad, but the team wasn't bad, and that you guys coming into that 99 season knew that you're going to be pretty good. As somebody that wasn't in the locker room, the 99 Rams, the greatest show on turf, especially the Kurt Warner portion, I was like, wait, where did these guys come from? It was totally out of left field. Did you know going into that season that not only you guys were going to be good, but you would be good enough to maybe win a Super Bowl?
I knew we were going to be good. This is what was interesting about that season. So when the players drove to work and we walked in the building, the first thing we saw when we opened the doors was the Lombardi Trophy. Dick Vermeil put that up that season. And I remember walking in the first day, and I'm like, damn, collectively and subliminally, we were all starting to think about a championship.
Mm-hmm.
We never did that. So this was the first time. Every time we walk into work, the first thing we see was the trophy. So that was in our minds, right? And then we knew we were good. I mean, we already had 90% of the team. We knew, with the addition of the draft picks, with the addition of Marshall, we knew we were going to be good. I don't think anybody knew how good. So that's why I think I just don't think we knew how good. But I thought we felt like we were going to be good.
We knew we were going to be.
Did Dick know? I'm asking both of you. Did Dick know? Hey, this team.
I don't even think he knew.
Okay.
Yeah, not to that extent. I knew we were going to be better. We were going to be different. We might have a chance to have a winning season, get into the playoffs, but we didn't know until we got there. But he's right. We didn't even say Super Bowl. We didn't say playoffs. We never said it.
Yeah.
It was taboo to say it until Vermeil started to do that. Yeah. And
he made it okay. He made it okay.
He did make it okay. And I remember I told them Frank Gans would put that on the board every single day. January 30th, 2000, Atlanta, Georgia. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day in the corner of the room. And then sure enough, here we are in Atlanta getting ready to play the Super Bowl. Do you remember that last day, that last meeting, the day before the game?
Yeah.
When they came in and spoke to us about – yeah, go ahead.
The meeting at night?
Yes.
Yeah. Why? What were you going to say about it?
I was just thinking, like, they told us to remember the journey and all that stuff. Do you remember that stuff?
Yeah.
Like how fast it goes? They said that night, before you know it, it'll be 25 years later. And here we are.
It is. Dude, so this is what's crazy. So I coach high school tennis. It's a long story how I got into it. When I retired, I started getting into it. Anyways, these kids come up to me, and I was talking about the Super Bowl. They always ask me about the Super Bowl. And they're like, Coach, there's a lot of teams that win Super Bowls, but everyone remembers your team, the greatest show on turf. And I'm like, damn. Like, it's just there's a lot of teams, but everybody remembers that team.
Marketing, man. So nicknames.
Yeah.
Nicknames make stuff, steel curtain, purple people eaters. Like, some of this stuff just and greatest show on turf is such a great
sticks.
name.
Be honest. Don't you get a little mad, though? Because at one point, the greatest show did, like, have a defense with it. Us.
Hey, man, and you know what? Like, at some point, I look at my career, because, look, I went to college to play quarterback. And I would have redshirted if I played quarterback, and I played as a true freshman as a safety. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I should have played quarterback.
Yeah.
Because then that's where all the recognition is. No, but man, it is what it is. Everyone knows the quarterbacks, the running backs, and all that stuff. They got all the love. It's definitely the greatest show on turf. It's about the offense, and God knows we needed it because we had a horrible offense for years.
Oh, no doubt. No, I tried to tell him. But this is, if you want to know the play, when you see Mike Jones make the tackle, Keith Lyle is the safety that comes in at the last moment and swipes the football away. What were you thinking at that moment? Did you think we're on the goal line?
So it's so interesting because as a kid growing up, I was always in the gym shooting a jumper. Like, if this goes in, I win the Super Bowl. This the last play. If this goes in, I win the championship. I was always growing up putting myself in my mind on the last play of a championship, and lo and behold, here I am. So people ask me all the time, were you nervous? Were you scared? I said, no. At that moment, everyone's in their element. Mm-hmm. So all we're focused on, particularly for me, what I was focused, because on that play, we ran a bracket coverage called 7. And I'm so focused on, if this guy motions, I got to switch, I got to make this call. If this guy moves, I got to be on the inside. I got outside leverage. If he goes there, the corner goes there, and I go here. So I have all this stuff going on my head. So when the play developed, I was on the side with Todd, the nickel on the right, and Dre. Our two receivers ran like 3 yards as dummy routes. So I freed up. So when I freed up, I saw Mike on the move, and I was like, I don't think I can get there. But if I can, I'm going to try to get the ball. So that's what happened. So, I was on my side. It was basically two sides doing their own thing. It was 3 of us on 2 receivers. It was Mike, Billy, and Dexter. Those 3 guys on their 2 receivers, who was Dyson and Wycheck.
Yeah.
So all of us had different responsibilities, and the linebacker, Fletch, ran to my side with the back. So they freed it up to isolate Mike. So at the last second, when I knew I could free off and my receivers ran dummy routes, I tried to come and help and do what I could. But thank God Mike made the side with Todd, the nickel on the right, and Dre. Our 2 receivers ran like 3 yards as dummy routes. So I freed up. So when I freed up, I saw Mike on the move, and I was like, I don't think I can get there. But if I can, I'm going to try to get the ball. So that's what happened. So, I was on my side. It was basically 2 sides doing their own thing. It was 3 of us on 2 receivers. It was Mike, Billy, and Dexter. Those 3 guys on their 2 receivers, who was Dyson and Wycheck.
Yeah.
So all of us had different responsibilities, and the linebacker, Fletch, ran to my side with the back. So they freed it up to isolate Mike. So at the last second, when I knew I could free off and my receivers ran dummy routes, I tried to come and help and do what I could. But thank God Mike made that tackle.
When did you know he was going down? Because that play usually scores. Or at least that guy breaks the tackle. Yeah.
It was such a good design, man, because they designed it where Mike had to be on his outside, on his inside, and the way they did the motion, they wanted Mike to overrun it and get out leverage. So it was a great design. But Mike held it long enough. But it was hard to say because as I'm running, I'm watching it develop, and I'm seeing Mike, and then he tackles him, and then I go to swoop for the ball. So I knew he had him. I just didn't know where the ball was. I felt like it wasn't in. And then he kind of did the Lucy on me.
The Lucy?
He pulled it back. Charlie Brown. Yeah. No, I'm with you, Keith. I got you.
Yeah. Pissed me off.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to go back to something you said a second ago. We're talking with Keith Lyle, Super Bowl champion, teammate of DeMarco's back in the 99 Greatest Show on Turf team. So you're kind of taking me through the play that if this guy motions, I'm here. I've got outside leverage on this guy unless it's this guy. And it's
three guys. It's three defenders on two receivers.
Okay.
So no matter how that carousel works, someone's going to have a guy, and somebody's going to be able to free up and help.
So are you just thinking, okay, this is my training, this is the coaching, this is the scheme, this is the call, or is it all of that and this is for the Super Bowl? Are you just going through, okay, I've seen this 100 times on film, I've been on this field, I know how to do this, or does the moment get in there where you're thinking, okay,
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all, man. At that moment, we're all locked in. Like, we're locked in because we know if they score, they're most likely going to kick a field goal. I mean, they could go for it. But it wasn't about being nervous. It wasn't about this the last play. It was like, lock in, do your job, let's get off this field. That's all it was. I got this. If he motions, I got to make this call. If he comes vertical, he's mine. If he goes to the flat, I'm helping on the slant. If they both run dummy routes and stop, I'm freeing up. I'm helping who I can. That's all it's about. There's no nervousness. It was let's play the game. I mean, like, now the first play of the Super Bowl?
Oh.
Yeah. Guys were nervous. Like, my first thing was like, I don't know how DeMarco felt, but my first thing was don't get beat deep.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was don't get thrown on your face. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like DeMarco said, the night before in that meeting, the coach was like, hey, there's going to be 300, 400, 500 million people watching this game. And I'm like, damn, Keith, don't get beat.
See? All that comes into play. So right now, you're in line to pick up your kids, right?
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
My son is 11. He'll be 12 next month. And then my daughter's 9.
Okay, I have a 9-year-old going on 10. What are we doing, Keith? What are we doing?
Aren't all Super Bowl champions in car lines?
It might be. So I was just going to say, I love being dad. I ask this question a lot. If I could go back now and tell my 23, 24-year-old self something, what would I tell him? It wouldn't matter. I wouldn't listen to you anyway. But after 25 years ago, we became champion. And 25 years from that moment, would you say everything we've done was worth it to become champion?
Everything. I mean, man, I've got some nicks and pains now and stuff like that, but I think everything we did, I mean, it has to be. Like, we worked hard. We achieved what we worked hard to achieve. We got to go to college. I mean, it's just been great, man. Now I'm enjoying life. I'm married. I'm almost married 15 years. I got 2 little kids. So, you know, it was totally worth it.
Totally worth
now,
it.
Now, if you're asking me, am I recommending other kids to play football? You know,
tennis.
That's a choice they got to make.
Yeah.
I would say yes, but make sure that coach knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
No hot Macomb days? Come on.
I got one more for you, for me, Keith. We're speaking with Super Bowl champion Keith Lyle. We had another one of your teammates, Jeff Zgonina, on earlier today, and he was talking about the back room behind the equipment room. Were you allowed in there? Did you pay the fee to get in?
The hole.
The hole?
Yeah. Back room. Man, the back room.
Well, that's how they described it to me.
The hole.
The hole.
Yeah, I'm sure I was back there.
Okay.
I mean, man, listen, we had the thing about that year is we had a whole lot of damn fun.
Yes.
It was fun coming to work.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure what the hell Zgonina's talking about the hole, but
I think you might. I think you're just being diplomatic.
It was in the back with Todd. Yeah. Todd and Jimmy had the hole in the back because where we played cards.
Yeah.
You need to talk.
You know what? Hey,
yeah.
Dog, you know what's funny? Remember that dice game we used to play?
What was the dice game?
You had a little dice game, and then you dropped the numbers, and you had to clear the board.
Yes, I do remember this game. Heated.
So I asked him about 10 years ago to make me one. He made me one and sent me one, man. So my
did
kids
he
love
really?
that game.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
Send me one. I love that game. I haven't played that game in 25 years. Yes.
The game is called Heated?
No, it gets heated. It's competitive. Yeah.
Is it like craps?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a board game with 9 numbers, right?
Yes.
And you had to roll the dice, and you want to drop the highest number, and then you could, if you cleared the board, you got rid of them. If you left at 12, then you had 12. You left 300, you had 300. It was a good thing to do, man. When you were bored.
My man.
All right, Keith. Congratulations
Thank
on the
you,
25th
sir.
anniversary, and talk to that principal. See if that Super Bowl ring can't get you to the front of the line of the pickup.
I appreciate it, guys, man. Good talking to you, man.
Trey Nick, my man. Yes, sir.
You got it.
Best center field safety I ever saw in my life.
What did he say, 17 picks in 2 seasons?
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, we had some good
That's
players.
bananas.
And we were buried under a bad record. No one cared.
What's the name of that dice game?
I don't know. It was Todd's game. It was the equipment manager's game.
Oh, he invented it?
Yeah. We came up with some crazy stuff. Lots of crazy stuff.
Guys leaving without checks?
Yeah, Keith wasn't a whole guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Keith was not a whole guy. Okay. Yeah. He's a skill position dude.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this while complimenting Keith without insulting you.
Go ahead.
Okay, here's what I'm going to try. Keith sounds too smart for the whole. Keith sounded like the guy that'd be like, "Nah, you guys go have fun."
I mean, he's a UVA grad.
That's what
He's
I'm
got
saying.
to be smart.
Keith sounded like a guy that knew better.
So apparently, I was going to ask him, and he covered it so fast. Our other corner named Dexter McLeon was a corner at Clemson. Apparently, Dexter picked off Keith, and that was the end of his quarterback career.
Really?
Yes, and they became starting cornerbacks together. It was
that's
so
great.
funny. Yes.
You know, stupid good of an athlete you need to be. Just change position. I'll just go over here and do
Like
this,
that.
and I'll go to the NFL, and I'll intercept 17 passes in 2 years.
Just like that. Yes.
Oh, okay, sure. Why not?